Hello and welcome to day 13 of Die Cut December. My name is Natalie and today I'm going to be creating a card for you using these dies. I've got a large heart frame or outline die and a fairly big with love sentiment die. The card I'm making is going to be 5 by 7 inches. So I've got a 5 by 7 inch card base, a slightly smaller card panel, and I've die cut the heart outline and 3 of the with love sentiments. In a community post recently, I asked if there were any types of dies that you, my subscribers, found it hard to use or didn't use very often but you'd like to use more. And Donna asked me if I would do a video using a large heart die. So that's what I'm going to do today. The first thing I did was put my heart on my card panel and draw very faintly around it with a pencil, just so I know where it's going to go. I think when you use a large die like this on a clean and simple card, it can be a good idea to put the large die hanging off the side. So you've got the idea of a whole heart there, but you haven't got it taking up the whole of your card front. To colour my front panel, I'm using raspberry jam luscious powder, and I mixed it with water to create quite a pale paint, and I'm using my smusher to pick it up and smush it on where the heart is going to go. So it's going to provide a backdrop for the heart. If you want to know how to make a smusher, then do check out the video that's linked in the description. This cardstock is linen textured and it's very thirsty. It sucks the colour in straight away. So you get these very defined blotches. To randomise them a little bit, I use my paintbrush to add a few extra blotches and to spatter on some paint. Once that was dry, I used tacky glue to glue my heart where I had previously drawn the pencil lines. Once the heart was down, I thought there were a few spots that could do with a bit more paint, so I brought the paintbrush back in again and added to it. And then it was time to snip off that overhang and get rid of that. For my sentiment piece, I wanted to use the same colour but in a more saturated form. So I made some more paint by mixing the luscious powder with water and just kept painting it on until it reached the depth of colour that I wanted. Again, this is the linen textured cardstock, which is very thirsty and it sucked that colour right in. I did dry it with my hairdryer afterwards, and then I heat embossed it with clear embossing powder to give it a lovely shine. The embossing ink I used was from Ranger, and I smushed it all down onto my die cut and then put that in the clear embossing powder and then give it a good blast with my heat gun to melt the embossing powder. And while it was still melted, I put it back in the clear embossing powder and then heated it again to give it even more dimension. And I did that again after that, so it had 3 rounds of heat embossing with clear powder. So if you hang around to the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to create a frame or an outline heart die, just in case you haven't got the kind of heart die that I'm using in this video. So once this card's finished, I will show you that. During this last round of heat embossing, the 3rd round, I sprinkled on some chunky iridescent glitter while the embossing powder was still warm and melted. And this made the glitter stick to the embossing powder and just adds a little bit of pizzazz to that sentiment. You do have to be careful though not to sprinkle while you're pointing the heat gun at the sentiment, otherwise the glitter will just go everywhere. To create the final sentiment piece, I stuck the 2 other white die cuts together with tacky glue and then stuck the raspberry jam coloured die cut on top of those. So I've got a nice thick stack of 3 die cuts, one on top of the other. Next, use tape runner to stick my card panel to the front of my card, and then I use tacky glue to stick the "With Love" sentiment in the middle of the heart, and I used my T-square ruler just to make sure it was straight. So while I'm doing all this gluing, I just wanted to say a big hello to all my recent subscribers and a big thank you for watching my videos. I'm really excited that so many of you are enjoying what you're seeing here, and I really hope to be able to bring you lots more videos like this soon. As a finishing touch for my card, I added some pink enamel dots inside the card to keep them within the focal point of the card. So now I'm going to show you how to create a heart outline die cut. You'll need 2 different size hearts. These are nesting heart dies. I take the smaller of the 2 and tape it down with a bit of low tack tape, making sure to put the tape on the inside of the heart because it's the outside of that smaller heart that's going to form the frame. Then I add the larger of the 2 dies, I line it up how I want it, add some more low tack tape, and then I run it through my die cut machine, and this is what you get. A really sweet heart-shaped outline that you can use in the same way that I used my outline die. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video and it's given you some ideas of how you might use some of your own supplies. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you back here very soon. Bye for now.